Alex and Melissa had been married for 8 years, a bond that began with a teenage crush and matured into a life filled with laughter, quiet affection, and shared responsibilities. As Alex liked to joke, their marriage was held together with memes and inside jokes. The kind of relationship where glances across a crowded room said more than words ever could. By the time Alex turned 30, Melissa had just turned 27. That year, their lives changed forever with the birth of their son, a wide-eyed, curious little boy who had just turned 3 and started preschool. Parenthood had shifted their focus. Diapers, sleepless nights, first steps, and daycare drop-offs had taken center stage. Their lives became a series of routines, comforting yet demanding. Melissa had recently returned to her job after a long maternity leave. She was eager to reclaim a piece of her identity outside of being mom. But everything at the company had changed. The culture, the pace, and most notably the leadership. Peter was the new director. Polished, confident, and nearly 10 years older than Melissa. He exuded the kind of effortless charm that made people lean in when he spoke. Melissa noticed that charm immediately. After months of baby talk and toddler tantrums, the attention from an older, powerful man felt intoxicating. Starved for adult conversation, validation, and the excitement that routine had slowly chipped away from her life, she found herself smiling longer than she should, lingering by his office a little too often. Peter noticed. At first, it was light. Shared glances during meetings, passing compliments. Then it edged into something riskier. He would touch her arm slightly when speaking, whisper just a bit too close to her ear. Melissa told herself it was harmless. She still wore her wedding ring, still went home to Alex and her son. But each interaction pulled her deeper, blurred her boundaries. A month into the flirtation, Peter summoned her to his office late one afternoon. She assumed it was about a project deadline. Instead, when she entered, he locked the door behind her. And then he kissed her. Melissa didn't stop him. Her body tensed, her breath caught, but not from fear. She had imagined this moment in fragments, told herself it would never happen. Yet now, with the door shut and her choices evaporating, she gave in. She told herself she was resisting, but it was half-hearted at best. The truth. A part of her wanted it, craved the escape. After that, everything changed. In front of co-workers, Peter became distant, overly critical even. He snapped at Melissa during meetings, nitpicked her reports, treated her like an underperforming rookie. But when they were alone, he was playful, crude, and tactile. He'd corner her in the copy room, tug at her waistband, whisper suggestive comments. Once, he slapped her backside in the break room after everyone had left. She laughed nervously, cheeks flushing red, guilt clawing at her insides. Alex noticed the change too. He'd never been the jealous type. He trusted Melissa implicitly. But now her late nights were frequent. She seemed distracted, emotionally distant. She snapped more often, brushed off his questions, and clung to her phone like it held her soul. His gut twisted with unease. "Why are you always working late now?" he asked one evening. Melissa rolled her eyes. "Deadlines, Alex. That's how jobs work. But you never stayed this late before. Call and you don't answer. You sound weird, off." "Stop calling so much," she snapped. "You're embarrassing me. I'm at work, not cheating on you." But the tension escalated. The fights became sharper, crueler. One night, after Peter berated her in front of their team, Melissa locked herself in the office bathroom and cried for 20 minutes. Her mascara streaked down her cheeks, her heart pounding with shame. Not just because Peter humiliated her, but because she knew she'd invited this chaos into her life. Then came the breaking point. After a particularly nasty exchange in a morning meeting, Peter told her to stay late to finish some reports. Fed up and raw, Melissa refused. She stood her ground. Peter looked stunned, then stepped in close, too close. His voice was low and dangerous. "You don't get to say no to me." Her eyes narrowed. "Yeah. And what are you gonna do about it?" He smiled cruelly. "I'll tell your loving husband everything. Every detail. Even about that cute little birthmark on your hip. Melissa froze. You'll stay, he said louder now, loud enough for others to hear from the hallway. Then he walked away, leaving her trembling beside her desk. Her phone rang. It was Alex. Again. She ignored it, knowing she'd just told him she left her phone in her purse. Her lies were catching up with her. Peter was waiting. But something inside her had broken. That charm she once found magnetic now seemed sinister. He wasn't the escape anymore. He was the prison. In his office, Peter stood by the window, smirking like a man who'd won. "Smart girl," he said. "You made the right choice." Melissa's voice quivered. "Aren't you worried I'll tell your wife?" Peter chuckled. "You think she doesn't know? She's fine with it. Money talks, sweetie." Melissa said nothing. She'd reached the end of her excuses. What she didn't know was that Alex was already en route. He'd had enough. Earlier that week, he'd noticed a faint bruise on Melissa's shoulder. She claimed it was from her gym bag. He didn't believe her. That night something snapped. At the security desk, Alex claimed he was picking up his wife and marched upstairs. Every step felt like walking through quicksand. His heart thundered in his chest. Melissa's office door was ajar. Her phone was on the desk, her purse open. Then he heard it. Soft thumps from Peter's office. He walked to the door and kicked it open. What he saw shattered him. Melissa was sitting on Peter's desk, skirt bunched at her thighs. Peter stood between her legs, caught mid-motion, eyes wide. He scrambled to pull up his pants, but Alex was already on him. Rage surged. Alex tackled Peter to the ground, fists pounding with the fury of betrayal. Melissa screamed, trying to separate them. When she finally managed to pull Alex back, he looked at her for the first time. Her face was a mess, tear-streaked, lips smeared, mascara running. She looked wrecked. Alex said nothing. He drove her home in silence, his jaw tight, his lip bleeding from where Peter landed a punch. Melissa reached for him, desperate to explain, to cry, to beg. But he stared out the window, disgusted. He wanted her gone. Out of the car. Out of his life. The next morning, Alex filed for divorce. Melissa called, sobbed, begged. "Please, Alex. Don't throw us away. I made a mistake. Change. I'll do anything." But it was too late. She resigned from her job that week. Rumors had already begun swirling. Peter, ever the manipulator, pushed her out to save face. Her world collapsed. The only thing that kept her grounded was her son. At night, she'd sit beside his bed, brushing his hair back, whispering that Mommy was still here, that Mommy still loved him. But once he was asleep, she'd cry. She thought about Alex constantly, the way he used to look at her, the way his laughter once filled their home. And now silence. He'd cut off all contact. Only then did Melissa understand what her mother once told her. You never cherish what you have until you lose it. And when it's gone, all you can do is cry.